And welcome back to episode 2 of the All Things Nothing podcast. It is Wednesday, May 6th. How's it going? How you guys doing out there? Man, it's been, only recorded 2 days ago. Wanted to get another episode in, get it done, get on the grind, as you call it. It's been a crazy couple days. COVID-19 still charging away, doing its thing. So, but it looks like we're seeing some relief out there. We're also seeing some unrest out there. People are honestly tired of being inside or being locked away. But hey, on to something much better. So, hope you guys liked the episode 1. That was a lot of fun to record. And we're gonna get better here. Let's see. The question that I ended off with in episode 1 was, what was your favorite YouTuber? Let's see. I'm going to go through some of my top YouTubers and some of who I follow currently and in the past. Man, looking over to my subscription page, there's just so many people that from years ago, from like when I started my account, that I've like started following that like maybe haven't even seen in years. And there's blanks in here from people who've like deleted their channels from years ago. Man, it's kind of crazy looking over. But right now, let's see, sort of my favorite YouTuber that I like to watch. It's always good, Golden Treasure, and I know that I'll probably get some feedback from this, but honestly, PewDiePie is probably one of my favorite YouTubers. I've always really enjoyed him. I go streak. It's not like I haven't been like hardcore watching every day, but he just has good content. He makes me laugh. He makes me have a good time and forget. And he has good videos and he has bad videos. And but yeah, I always like watching him and seeing him. And sometimes I go months without not watching him. Some of his videos from early on, and then a couple years ago, some of the music videos when he was going against some of the people with the some of the controversies that he had in. He just dropped some fire music videos that are pretty crazy. So, man, let's see, Celebration is on there, I think is what it's called. Where he like just memes on the people that are trying to cease and desist him, and it's one of my favorite videos that I always like going back there. And Bitch Lasagna is another one that's hilarious that I go back and listen to. Such a goofy video, so dumb. And I know that it's dumb, but it just makes me crack a smile every time I watch it. And anytime I'm like feeling down and out, going to watch those music videos just always makes me crack up and laugh. So he's always been such a good one to watch over the past couple years. I don't know if he's number one, but he's definitely somebody that I always go back to and watch quite a bit. Let's see, my next one, honestly, from my college roommate, but Phil DeFranco is probably one of my second top YouTubers that I watch, that I listen to. He just puts out good news. He's very biased. He gives his own opinion, which is great, but he states when he's going to give his own opinion. And he's been around YouTube for a long time, and he's just always been a joy and fun to watch, and kind of like the similar thing as PewDiePie. I go streaks. Sometimes I'll like watch the news every day, for weeks, months on end, and then sometimes I'll just take a break. But yeah, he just always puts out just great content, great news, interesting stories. Sometimes a lot of YouTube drama, which is, I know it's weird to say, but I enjoy it. I enjoy watching it and seeing what's going on and being in the know of like who's going on, what's going on around YouTube, scams and other sort of things that he covers. It's just a break from the real news of the world to listen to, and sort of be able to encompass yourself into like this whole massive YouTube world. It's just crazy insane out there. And its own niche community, which is, I mean, I don't YouTube currently. I mean, I've made a couple videos from in the way past. I think they were like card break videos. I got really into sports cards. But yeah, he just covers news well, and he does a great job doing it. He's got a great team that helps him edit, and he does the editing himself and everything that he puts. But he's just been putting out good, consistent, great news content that covers everything, and is always probably one of my favorite YouTubers to go watch and listen to. And if not, I'm at least skipping to the story to go watch it. Probably at least turn into him once a week or whatever. So, but he's another of my favorites. Those are the really top two that I can think of currently that are not mainstream, I guess, or corporate would be the correct answer there. Like IGN, or like UFC or WWE. Some of those more corporate business channels that are on here that put out news. I mean, I usually watch IGN's reviews or walkthrough videos, which are always good. And I know that I can just go to the website, but honestly, it's easier just going to their YouTube channel and just getting their videos going to figure out what I want instead of reading through all the ads and looking through all the other stuff. There's the end of the ads run on the videos, but at least I can skip them and not have to see them covered. But yeah, let's see the next person. I mean, he's a YouTuber, but Tim Tapman, I am subscribed to his channel. I always enjoy his gameplay. I mean, it's probably the second or third time, probably the second time that I've been watching the video that he puts up, because I've watched his live streams and then watch it. But some of his like takes and his just chatting parts of his stream are absolutely comedy gold. They're so funny. I am just dying from laughter. At work, I have to almost silence my laughter trying to listen to him, because his jokes are just so funny. And the things he talks about. Man, a couple weeks ago when he was like talking about the dent in his head, when he took the 50 states geography test, and him and his wife had to figure out where the states were, and not knowing how to do that. That was absolutely hilarious. His videos are funny. They're hilarious. They always make me crack up. Especially the just chatting parts, some of the gameplay parts I'm interested in, and he's low-key one of the best gamers and one of the worst gamers, all in all. Let's see, going up to the list, man, it's kind of a split. I probably you guys have heard them, but Gameranks. They're like a video game channel, and they cover like top 10 lists. They cover reviews. They cover don't buy lists of video games, and they're some of my favorite channels to watch and some of my favorite videos. They mainly put out videos almost once a day / once every other day, I think. But I love going in and watching their videos. There's like 3 main guys that do the speaking, and they're just so well versed in the games they're talking about and the things that they're talking about. And they just put really good quality product together that is so good. It's so informative. It's so funny. Their top 10 lists are just like, the top 10 scariest games to, not play alone. The top 10 bugs that you weren't supposed to find out. Just kind of like your normal YouTube video, run-of-the-mill video game stuff. The don't buy videos, or know before you buy videos for video games is really good. They talk about, they go in depth about the good things about the game, about the bad things of the game, things that you should really know before purchasing. And there's some of the favorite YouTubers to watch. As far as being educated on what I should buy or what I shouldn't buy, especially if there's a game that's coming out that has an enormous hype train behind it that's just speed forward. It's a good video to watch to sort of ground yourself from that hype train and learn to see if it's actually a good game, or if it's a mediocre game, or maybe it's something that you should wait on, honestly, until they fix out some of the kinks. But yeah, it's just so informative. And I kind of use IGN as a cross-reference too about their reviews, but GamerX does a great job going over all of that stuff. And some of the list, you guys should check them out. They're absolutely hilarious. Let's see, going down the list, another person that I like to watch, kind of hitting the rounds, but Mr. Beast is one of my favorite YouTubers. He comes out with videos about once a week, maybe twice a week. But his videos are just so over the top, goofy. Some are great, some are not. But I usually join in and watch the videos, and he just has a ridiculous amount of money that he puts up for videos that he just does stuff. Let's see, one of the most recent videos they were going off of was, the most expensive food that they could buy, and then they just kind of tiered it up and then went from top to bottom, or bottom to top. He started off with like $100 milkshake, and then they went to like a $500 salad, and then they went to like $1,000 like burger, and just, it's insane how far up the chain they went. But I think they ended up with like $100,000 pizza. The pizza was absolutely ridiculous. It had like morel mushrooms from like Italy. They were like one shave of the mushroom was $5,000, which is insane. And they had these edible gold flakes. It was real gold, but it was this edible gold flakes that you could go on a pizza, and it was just over the top insane. But what makes it the best thing is that, he's spending this exorbitant amount of money on all of this food, and then he at the end makes a donation to a food bank, and he does that throughout most of his videos. He's mainly donating a lot of his money to charities or to things, which is kind of a lot of wholesome thing. Buying houses, buying cars for people, paying for the rent. It's just it makes you feel good inside. He does a lot of good videos like that. And his channel is a lot of fun to see, especially with like his group of friends. They Ubered across America. They're from, I think, North Carolina, and then they Ubered from North Carolina to LA. That sounds. They filmed the whole thing, and it looked absolutely uncomfortable and terrible, but they did it. But it's one of those things that you would never do, but you definitely watch a video of it and see them go. Let's see. Going down the list, one of my next favorite people, YouTubers to watch, is H3 Productions. They don't necessarily make YouTube videos anymore. They do the podcasts for sure. I haven't turned to a lot of their podcasts, but their videos from back when are some of my favorite videos, and some of my favorite meme videos online. They're just so funny. If you haven't got a chance, I don't say that they trash on people, but they definitely meme on people quite a bit, or different situations or certain things, and it is comedy. It's definitely a good video to go watch, and definitely good people to go watch. Ethan and Healer are just two funny individuals, and you can just kind of see their story and their growth from like their early videos on there to the most recent videos to their podcast, and just how like Hila used to be like this shy, they both used to be like this super shy people, and then just how they've kind of grown into their own and into this world of YouTube, and just how crazy it's been. But they're another great video to our YouTube channel to go subscribe to. Let's see, and then we're kind of getting to sort of my niche things that I personally like to watch. Let's see, Casino and OMG. They're two YouTubers that cover Marvel Strike Force or mobile games specifically, especially with me being, I covered it in my episode 1, but being a clan or alliance leader in Marvel Strike Force, they're kind of like my news source to go through. They have a lot of powerful news info and do a lot of infographics and helpful tips on the game and where you should do your spend your resources, or save up, or things that you should invest in. They're just two good mobile YouTubers right now. I mean, their game right now is Marvel Strike Force because it's the biggest one right now. But they're just two good YouTubers that I go follow. Let's see. Going down the list, kind of more streamers / YouTubers, but Courage AD, who's on YouTube now for sure. Ninja's on there. He's a great one as well. I think I follow Dr. Lupo as well. There's quite a few that I follow in and out. Marvel Strike Force is on there, of course. Yeah, and I think I follow a lot of people for just the kind of the games that I play. Which is, yeah, I mean, kind of like my thing. You kind of go through your phases, play your games, go find somebody who's actually really good at a game, or a channel that covers good, helpful info, and you start following them, and then you overall subscribe to them. But yeah, kind of running out a few more things. Let's see, I don't necessarily watch Joe Rogan because I just listen to his podcast, but I know his YouTube channel's on here, and it's hilarious. I usually go watch like the Fight Companion podcast because they just do some crazy stuff on there. Kind of a niche channel that I watch that a lot of people don't know, but it's called Raycevick. It's Raycevick. He's a unique YouTube channel that covers gaming specifically. But he does in-depth, and he goes so in-depth with the games that he plays or that he finds or the news. His videos are usually 20 minutes long or more, but he just really goes and dives into the games. Let's see, he just did one like most recently about Resident Evil 2 and his thoughts on it. It was about an 18-minute video. It was just such a good video to watch. He just goes in depth more than you'd think and covers things that you like wouldn't know necessarily, and really kind of covers those specific things you may not have thought about, or he just kind of ties knots about the games that you don't really know, or that you have played maybe a ton, and he just kind of does an in-depth, I wouldn't even say necessarily a review, but it's just a good info and a great video about what it is. He covered like Mass Effect. He's covered Siege from when it was terrible to now it being good. I know that was a couple years ago. He covered Modern Warfare, did a whole hour-long video on Modern Warfare and the story there. But he just puts good content together. If you have a chance, you should go look it up. Great YouTube channel, great info, just super unique info. Yeah, I mean, that kind of runs it up for the YouTube. I've been it's been almost 20 minutes now just talking about YouTube and the channels that I like. But yeah, I hope you guys like that. I'm just kind of shooting from the top and shooting from the hip on this one. I don't really have any specific topics that I wanted to cover, but I just kind of wanted to make it a free flow, free form sort of topic today. But yeah. But yeah, diving into, let's see, one of the topics that I wanted to cover today was MMORPGs, massive multiplayer online role-playing games. I love those games. I didn't know that I liked them. I mean, I played sort of similar RPGs like Mass Effect and Oblivion and Skyrim, and I would play those for hours on end. And then I think I met one of my first roommates in college, but he was playing. I looked over, and on his PC he was playing Lord of the Rings Online. I didn't know what it was, a shorter acronym was LOTRO, is how I like to call it. But yeah, I really got into that game. I made an orc. But yeah, that was my first sort of experience. I remember just as growing up as a high schooler, the whole cliche thing about like people who played WoW were like super nerds, and I vowed never to get into WoW. I still haven't ever really played WoW, but I've played the same genre of game. I got into Lotro for a while and grinded that. I never got to the end game. I'd get grind and play for a while and do the questing, and it's just so addictive. I wouldn't say addictive, but it sort of like feeds that good feel vibe for a long time. Turning in quests, getting new armor, getting new pieces of gear that are like better than your old pieces. Then you're gonna get your mount. Then there's like all this crafting that you can do to just excel at. But yeah, I played Lotro for a while. There's dungeons and other stuff like that you can go quest with other people and get more increased rewards and better gear. And it's not even in-game stuff. But yeah, I remember just doing that on Lotro, and there's so many different characters and classes that you can play that have different roles that set a specific purpose within the world. But I remember playing Lotro, and I think I did orc. I rolled an orc my first time, and I think I just kind of played my orc, and I think I rolled somebody else, but I mainly just played my orc there. But I didn't play for very long. It wasn't on my PC, I don't think. I think it ended up downloading it onto my PC at a later time, but I wasn't really into it, or it had passed, and I didn't really have any friends, which kind of made it the most difficult part. Let's see. And then about a few years later, that's when Star Wars The Old Republic started having their massive E3 videos. Their cinematography and CGI of the SOTOR, their first 3 videos before the release of the game were just these phenomenal, like, if they could go just make a whole movie on that, I'd watch the whole thing from top to bottom. Such good storytelling. There really wasn't any speaking. It was just 10 minutes of action and storytelling without words. And it was so good. But yeah, I remember getting that game almost upon release. I think maybe a few weeks after, but I got really into that game. I rolled a Sith warrior. I was a tank, and I just tanked damage. I didn't know what I was doing at first. It was my first MMORPG, honestly, that I sort of like wanted to get into and play. I did a lot of hunting. I did a lot of questing, and I maxed out my character. And I ended up joining a random guild based off of some of the dungeons that we were doing, and got really into it. The guild had people who had just been doing the game and MMORPGs for a long time, and they knew what to look for, and they kind of filled me in. And kind of shout out to the old Tattered Legion. I know that they're out there still. It's been a few years since I've been to Star Wars Land, but I just remember playing. I just enjoyed that game so much. It was such a phenomenal game. I quested so much. I probably played for almost a year straight, just questing and enjoying that game. I really didn't have any friends, but playing with those guys specifically and playing that game, that type of game, was probably one of my favorites. I had in-game gear. I had maxed out my character. I was doing dungeons. I was doing operations. I was min-maxing my gear at one point. I had bought enhancements so I could max out my gear and just go above and beyond what I was doing. The damage and my tank damage. I mean, you would just get that in-game piece, and it was astronomical about what just happened, because you would have almost 68,000 health, and then you'd get one piece of gear, and it would almost be a third boost on all of your stats. All of your base stats. It would just be absolutely insane. That game, man, that changed my life. It was a good game. I definitely grinded a lot. I definitely played a lot. Definitely got my money's worth out of it. Wish more of my friends would have played it, but man, that game was good. I love a good old MMORPG. Anyway, with everyone being in quote unquote quarantine, or if you're out there working and grinding, that's cool, but a lot of people are in house or working from home right now. What are you guys playing? What are you grinding on? What are you playing? What gets you in the mood? I think I might have asked this question in episode 1, but what are you doing? What games are you playing? What are you into? Have you ever been into an MMORPG? Have you ever gone to the end game of games like that and grinded for gear and played to your heart's end? There's definitely been a few games like that, and I described a few of that. I think I forgot one. I mean, Destiny 1, I played a ton. I played a crap ton of that one. I was going ham in that one. D1 was the days. Couple updates later, maybe not, but D1 launch was rough. D1 at the beginning, though, was a solid game, and that was a lot of fun, and I went hard. But what are you guys out there grinding? Have you ever grinded for something? Have you ever MMORPG and gotten to a clan and done in-game raids? What sort of in-game activities have you ever played to a game, or just 100% of the game? And not talking about like a cheese mo game. I'm talking about going in ham for a long game. One that the story itself is ridiculously long. Let me know. Hit me up at Sparrow933. Speaking of socials, the primary contact right now for me, it's at Sparrow933. That's where the All Things Nothing Home podcast communication is right now. I've been thinking about putting together maybe a Discord together. I do want to grind out a few more episodes, at least get to minimum 10, go from there, get a community going is my hope. But yeah, I just kind of want to go with the flow. It is an All Things Nothing podcast. I'm just out here grinding episodes. Hit me up if there's a topic, or if there's a news article, or if there's something that you want to be heard or want me to talk about. Hit me up. Let me know. Just at me, and we'll see what I can do. Definitely always taking suggestions. Definitely have a lot of ideas and suggestions of my own that I have going, and that I hope to implement here in the next couple episodes. This was more of a freeform episode. I definitely dragged on a few and rambled a little bit. Definitely not structured, but I kind of wanted to go with a structured episode for episode 1, unstructured episode, and we'll just kind of see how that rotates. But yeah, I'm just kind of having fun with it. And just playing around and just having a good time. I just want this to be sort of a free flow, free fun, structured, unstructured sort of podcast, and just kind of have fun with it. Anyway, it's been great. Episode 2 is winding up, and we will see you guys for episode 3. Have a good day. See you later, and we'll catch you